Hey guys. Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Welcome. It's Emily and Abigail of Think Creative Collective again.
Hi. Yes.
Hey. Thanks for joining in tonight. If you are new around these parts, we are Think Creative Collective. We are a one-stop shop for creative small business owners. We help you build the dream of your business, right? Business of your dreams, right? Which one was it? Too much caffeine and cupcakes tonight. So you can find us at thinkcreativecollective.com and see all our good stuff. Hey, thanks for coming in. Hello, you're awesome. Hello. Okay, so tonight we're talking about B-School.
Yep.
It's been on the interwebs lately. Doors are open. If you know what it is, I'm sure you've heard of it. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with B-School. But we get a lot of questions about, is it the right fit for me? Am I ready for B-School? What did you... We did get a massage. Thank you. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was like half physical therapy, half massage, and it was phenomenal. Serenity Massage in Liberty, Missouri on the square. I'm going to shout out to them because they were incredible.
Hot stones and
everything. So we just kind of wanted to, or I wanted to give my personal alumni experience of B-School, and then Abby kind of wanted to ask her questions as a person who hasn't ran through B-School yet, and as someone who considered doing it this year and investing in her business and in our business. And so we're going to kind of do this interview style. And if y'all have any particular questions, we'll try to keep an eye on the comments and answer them. But fire away, literally ask anything, open book. I won't hold bar on anything. It's going to be pure, honest, not an affiliate at all whatsoever. We do not get any commission from Marie by giving our opinion, good or bad. So this is pure, just my opinion. That's it. So fire away.
Okay. I will totally, interview you.
Okay.
What's up, Emily?
Hey.
So tell me, what is B-School?
Yeah. So first, let's back up a little bit and explain what B-School is if you haven't heard of it, or if you're just like flabbergasted, confused about one more online program that's out there. So Marie Folio, who's an amazing human being, you can definitely check out her whole back history online, but she is such an inspiration to the creative community, to the small business community, to the modern online way of doing business community. She created B-School, I think 7 or 8 years ago, I'm not exactly sure, to cater to the people who felt like they might need a degree to run a business, who didn't have the answers, who didn't know where to turn about anything regarding starting a business. So she created an amazing platform to teach that. It's a 6-week, 6-module jumbo e-course, like a ton of content that you walk through week by week with your new peers that join in the class of 2016. And this year Marie is adding a new feature where she is going to be live on some coaching calls with you guys. And so you get to hash out the strategies that you learned in that particular module and continue through the course. There's a lot of download materials. There's a lot of group chatter within the community, and then you kind of just implement the systems as you learn them. So that's the gist of it. It's 2,000 bones, $2,000 to invest in the course. I believe she has a payment plan. And you get access to the first module when it goes live on the 7th, on March 7th, I believe. Doors close on the 2nd, on March 2nd. And then each module is released every week. So you don't get access to everything at first, which is good in my opinion, because there is so much within every module. So you kind of have 1 week to dive in and spend your time hashing out whatever she taught in that particular module, and then you move forward to the next one.
So where were you at in business a year ago when this all went down? Yeah,
so I'm an alumni of 2015. So I invested in B-School in March, literally on the day the doors closed. I had been hem-hawing about it for months that led up to the doors opening, and then finally, I think literally I was buying it on my phone because it was the last hour that it was available and I wasn't going to be able to be home. It was one of those things where I was like, I don't think so. I was kind of like having a fear of missing out, a little bit of a moment, and I decided to just pull the trigger. So it was March. It was when I first opened up Emily Says, I had been blogging.
Wait, okay. What is Emily Says?
So let's back up even further. So in March of last year, I had my own business as a solopreneur. So Think Creative Collective did not exist. It was Emily Says. I was segueing out of just doing portrait photography for families, babies, etc. in the Tulsa area to serving more online business owners and creative business owners. And so I was learning how to create an online business that ran strictly online, like clients from New York City and California and Arizona. How does that look? What do I need to make online to serve those people? And so I didn't have a clue really where to start. I really had only built my close community of clients in and around Tulsa. And so I needed to kind of branch out, and I needed to learn more of the online marketing space, and I had no clue about online marketing whatsoever. I knew sales tactics, but the online world is an entirely different ball game. So I was very new. I was a little bit in that soaking in all the information, because that's kind of what I do. Is as soon as I'm like want to learn something, or as soon as I know what I need to learn, I read every blog post, every podcast, everything to master it. And I had heard from a bunch of people that I looked up to, that they were alumni of B School, Heather Crabtree being one of them. I think she's an alumni of 2014 maybe. So I know she had gone through the program, and a lot of successful people that I was following in their footsteps, or trying to, and looking up to them, were alumni of B School. So I was like, okay, if they made that smart business decision and they're alumni and they went through the program, then it must make sense for me to be there too. And so I kind of wanted to hang out with those people and kind of see what that was about.
Okay. Who is this right for? Like, if you were, you obviously at the beginning and you were starting out, and I think you were really good at running your own business locally, but right. Online was very new at the time.
Yes.
So do you have to be an online business owner only, or who is this right for?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And it's one that Marie really tries to answer a lot herself. There is no cookie cutter response. So in the sense that I believe, and you believe, that every business should be online. So whether you are or aren't, it is for online businesses, but just because you aren't online right now doesn't mean that you shouldn't be, and that should be a goal of yours. So it's definitely aiming for getting your website set up, learning about the opt-in and the freebie, and learning your ideal customer, which is good for any business, but definitely targeted for an online business. So specifically who it's for, I think it's a generalized B School, in the sense of any online business can have success and can learn a lot from what she offers. It's generalized so much, a little bit, to where if some people might go into it thinking it's going to be niched down to teach you maybe how to open your Etsy business, or how to do an e-commerce site on Squarespace, or how to make money as a blogger. And there aren't those specific questions that are answered. It's really just the platform and the foundations of being an online business owner. And so you have to be ready to kind of fill in those spaces yourself, or to find someone else either within the B School community or outside of that, and after you kind of implement all the steps, to take those questions further.
Okay.
And ask more specifically in your specific industry what you can do to succeed.
Okay. All right. Are you excited about doing it again?
I'm so excited about doing it again. So I wasn't excited about doing it again a very few short months ago, because I'll be straight and honest with you. There is a ton of material. Everyone tells you this, but I don't think you quite understand. I have a binder, those like god-awful 5-inch binders that they're all ugly because no one makes cute binders that are 5 inches thick. That's what holds my B School stuff, and not even all of it fits in there. So there's a lot of paper. There's a lot of printing, because I'm a person that has to like fill out worksheets by hand. I just learn better and brainstorm better that way. And she's very strict on the first module. There's a particular activity that she wants you to do. And you'll get 70 emails that's like, do this today. Do not do it before opening the next module. You have to do this. It's going to be uncomfortable. You have to do it. And I did it. And I'll tell you that the whole rest of the program would not have happened if I hadn't done that first. So if you are considering it, or if you've already bought, listen to her and do that first activity.
What's the activity?
So it's finding your ideal customer by being in their shoes. So you literally write like a mini story about your person in their shoes.
Okay.
And so you talk about like, I woke up today and these are my feelings and my thoughts and what I like to do, and it's super weird and it's super woohoo and it's super awkward. You like give him or her a name and an age and what is she wearing today and what does she do? Like literally everything down to the detail. But her whole point is in the whole program is that you're thinking of that person the entire time that you're building your services and your products and your site and your copy and all of the things that make a business function. You're doing it to that person, because one of Marie's favorite things to say, and it's one of my favorite quotes from her, is if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. And so she really, really preaches that and uses it in her program to guide you throughout the entire process.
Okay. Tell us about like some of your favorite takeaways that you learned last year. Like what?
Yeah.
What do you hold on to now?
Well, I really like that activity. And if you've been hanging out with us at all, you know that's also one of our favorite things to do, of finding your muse or your ideal customer. We kind of tweak it a little bit from what she does, but that really sets the basis of everything that you do. And I think one of the main struggles as a business owner, and what we come back to almost on a daily basis, is, okay, who are we talking to? But who are we talking to? And in every blog post, in every Instagram caption, in everything, we want to make for you guys, it's, I want to create this new thing. Okay, but is it for the person that we're talking to? Is it the person we created? So that's one of the biggest things and the hardest things to keep going back to and holding on to. But I learned a lot about opt-ins and freebies, which when you and I met, I was the like one-page opt-in person, and that's who I learned it from. Just getting it out there and kind of hashing out what you knew and what you were an expert in and how you could give it to your audience. She's also a big supporter of giving away a lot of what you know, and the more that you give back, both in like telling you all the things that make business works, or telling you strategies, or telling you tips in that sense, but also literally giving back. Her company gives a ton of money back to a lot of amazing places, and she says over and over and over again, the more you give back, the more you get back. And not necessarily money, but just feel good vibes and good karma and people in your life. And if I haven't ran with that and seen it work, then preach, girl. Like, seriously. But I'm excited about going through B School again. Yes, there's a lot of work that's already been printed off and done, so I can just reuse those same sheets, which thankfully. But a new feature, and I think I mentioned this earlier, is that Marie is going to be live on some group coaching. And as alumni, I have access to that. So what's really incredible is that when you invest once, you get to do it over and over and over again. I know, like, at first you're like, why would I want to do this again? Like, this was such hard work and it took so much time. But if we are a sign of anything that a business can change in less than 6 months, and you kind of have to backtrack and redo everything again, then it's going to be so worth it. So having access to that is incredible, that it's not just a one-time thing that I would have to buy over and over again. I'm excited to get her knowledge and her just presence and her everything, that energy that she brings to the group and the table. I'm really excited to be a part of.
Cool. What about when going through it again? Like, what do you think you're going to do differently?
Oh my gosh. Well, one thing I will do differently is block out in my calendar times to work on the worksheets.
Okay.
And times to talk it out with other people. I think it's so in the overwhelm of going through B School, but still wanting to listen to these podcasts and still wanting to read these and still building my business, that I didn't let it give me everything that it could. And so knowing how powerful B School can be for you, giving it the time it deserves is so worth it. And so I think
much time should you invest on a weekly basis?
Yeah.
Or daily? Or
honestly, Marie answers this question, I think, in Frequently Asked on her site, but you have to consider it as you're going to school. Like, it's called B School for a reason, because everything that you learn is like a fast track degree in online business entrepreneurship. So if you think of it like that, and if you remember way back in high school or college, if you took college classes, the time that it took for you to study and prep and be present in learning, you kind of have to treat it like that. It's like a 6-week fast track. And so if you only have 6 weeks to go through material, you really should be spending, honestly, about an hour a day on the material.
Okay.
If you can.
Okay. What do you feel like is missing from the course that you thought was going to be there, or you wish was there, or you just don't think is going to ever be there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that not knowing what you want to get out of it leads to expectations that can't follow through and representations of what you think the course can do for you. So I think we all forget that there is no one answer to how to do anything. That there is no, this is the blueprint that's going to make you successful. And so if you go into it thinking that that's what you're going to get, you will be disappointed. A lot of being in business is hustling and tweaking and repeating, which is one of our favorite things to say. You can take literally verbatim everything that Marie teaches you, and it might not work for you. You may have to do this slight degree of an adjustment on this one element and change this and not even do this part of what she teaches in your business at all, and then that's your happy place and that's your happy sauce. But so going into it knowing that you're going to have to put in the work, not only to do the work, but also to see how it can be reputable for your own business in your own industry, takes a whole nother realm of work. But I think specifically a lot of creative business owners take B-School thinking that there may be more coverage on opening an Etsy shop, or how to make blogging a business, or how to how to set up a blog and how often should you blog. Marie talks about blogging, and Marie talks about putting out fresh content, but not in the same sense that a lot of creative entrepreneurs are asking about. So there is some missing pieces. But again, there is no one size fits all for anything. And if you join the community of B-School, there's a lot of amazing people who know great things, who can help you. It does open the door to a lot of wonderful mastermind groups and mini groups for you to, of people all over the world who you can reach out to and learn from. And it opens up even further, like for now, the community of being an alumni of B-School, that I can reach out to other alums, and we have that connection, and it's easier to kind of check, okay, if you had to choose what's most valuable, the content or connections? That's a good question. It's a really good question. As of a couple months ago, I would say the content. That being said, there are two changes I will be honest with you about. So prior to a couple weeks ago, B-School was set up as the first year it opened, 2007 or something like that, to 2014 was in one Facebook group. Okay, so every single person that bought B-School was put into this one B-School group, Facebook group. So, you have multiple 6-figure people that are successful partly because of B-School. You have smaller people that are successful for it, people that are just starting out, whatever, are all in this group. Well, that group got so big that they couldn't figure out how to manage it, so they opened a new Facebook group, and their plan was to do a 2015 alumni group, a 2016 alumni group, and keep them all separate. Ideally, it makes sense because you want to keep the group small, and the smaller it is, the more you can interact with people. But a lot of people were like, but I wanted to hang out with that person who bought B-School 3 years ago, who I look up to and who inspires me, and I don't get to see them. And so even though the Facebook group, and it's talked about a lot, is an added bonus and not by any means a paid portion of what you're investing in, it's just an extra icing on the top. It was kind of disappointing. They have since changed that. So the 2015 Facebook group is now down, and everyone from 2015 is in that group from everyone else, and you guys will eventually be added into that group as well if you choose to buy in 2016. So that being said, the connections have been quadrupled, if not more than that, by who we have access to now just by being added to that other Facebook group. I met Heather Crabtree through B-School, through the, there's an online directory of B-School, and so I joined her Savvy Business Owners Facebook group through B-School, which led me to Abigail, which led us to opening our business. So in that sense, the connections are invaluable. So it's a lot about what you find in it. But like I said, when you invest now, you have access to it for life. And so who knows, the next awesome person may join.
So it might be the content at first,
Exactly.
but then over time it might be the connections.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So any other questions, shoot them up too, and we'll address them. What else?
So who isn't this for? Like, I mean, it sounds like it's for, I mean, if everyone's supposed to be an online business owner, regardless of if they have a brick and mortar or they're just in their house or whatever, like, who shouldn't buy? Like, I'm just confused on that.
Right. It's a hard question to answer. So when I joined, I was kind of surprised that there were so many people who just had an idea of a business who invested. Because to me, that's just really early on to invest in something so specific that's going to help you. If you're in the brain space of...
Did you go through some?
Okay, we'll talk about bonuses. If you have no idea where to start and you haven't even started digging, and this is what you want to use as your answer of like, okay, let me navigate this online business space, great, do that. If you're seasoned and are struggling with overwhelm and you need some clarity and you want to go through some of the programs to kind of clear out your offers or your programs or who you're talking to, great, do it. If you're looking for something that's super niche and super targeted I know I keep bringing up Etsy, but there were a bunch of people in the group last year who were kind of surprised that Etsy wasn't even brought up at all. And I think Etsy is its own kind of like little channel of needing education on. But if you're expecting more hand-holding, then what's available? And if you're expecting... kind of the blueprint for exactly what you should do, then maybe take a step back and maybe write out on your own time what your end goal is, who you think your target audience is, what your idea of your business is, what you want to offer, just so you can have a little bit of an idea before going into it of what you even want to get out of it. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. It's going up every year, and there's amazing content added, and so you're not going to miss anything for sure. Let's talk about bonuses for a second. So I joined on a bonus where I won't say their name, I guess, because I wasn't happy with how it was delivered and what I got out of it. If you really are considering someone in particular bonus, you can email me and I will answer you privately, but this is not like a bash fest for this person at all. There are a lot of people out there who get great money off of the affiliate. The affiliate is half, so affiliates get $1,000 commission.
And let me just say, if you're considering signing up through someone else's, I think as someone who hasn't taken it, like, there's no reason you shouldn't do it that way.
Yes.
Because you're missing out on free content.
Yes.
Because they're going to give you value, and Marie's going to give you value, and you don't, like, lose any of Marie's bonuses because you signed up with someone else.
Correct. So find someone who you've looked up to for a while.
Right.
And that you're like, oh, I wish I could get my hands on that content. And do a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah. I think, personally, and this is just viewing from an outside perspective, I think Amy Porterfield's knowledge would be pretty invaluable. Yeah. Her bonuses look incredible. She even has like a live in-person conference attached to hers, and I really want to go.
Yeah. So look up to someone, find someone who you know that they communicate with their audience well. You know that they deliver on what they say they're going to give you, and you trust them. And definitely go through an affiliate link because you're getting double bonuses.
Why wouldn't you? Okay. So what do I do if I've decided either it's too expensive, it isn't right for me, or not this year, or maybe next year?
For sure.
What do I do now?
So if it's too expensive, there's kind of two sides to that coin. Investing in your business is an investment. I mean, it's obvious, but making a huge chunk of money, $2,000 is a huge chunk of money to put into your business, can do a lot of great things for you. When you spend money for things, you invest your time and your energy and your just your willingness to listen to it and soak it in and implement it into your own business. So that's an incredible kind of value in and of itself. But if you're at the point where you're like, I don't know, maybe not this year, just do some more grassroots learning is what I like to call it. Dig into some blog posts, dig into some podcasts, maybe do something a little bit more inexpensive price point. So some sort of membership, or I will plug our BizChick Co-op membership, $22 a month for a 6-month commitment. And we have a ton of material back there. Many e-courses, worksheets, ebooks, guides, videos, replays of all of our webinars, everything. And so maybe start small and look at that so you can get an idea and more clarity on what you're doing and what you're offering and what you need a big program like B-School to offer you.
Okay.
So really, I think action steps for you guys. I think there's a week left, a week and a half before doors close.
The closes the second.
The second, yeah. So I honestly think you should put pen to paper. Write down, brain dump everything of what you want your business to look like in 6 months, in a year, next year. What's going to happen? If we are example of anything, a business can change like that. And so being really clear now, yeah, sure, it's definitely helpful, but also give yourself freedom and grace for that to change at the drop of a hat. But kind of know what you want out of it before going into it. Get some clarity from your own sense, because you're the only one that has the answer. She may urge you, and she may have great material and great exercises for it to come out of you, but you're the only one that knows the answer. And so it's in there. You may need guidance to get it out, but just do a brain dump for now. Ask yourself, can you make $2,000 back in a month, in 6 months, this year? So is it going to be worth the return? Are the skill sets that you're going to learn from it, are they going to help you make that $2,000 back plus more? And go from there, and you'll know in your gut if it's right. And if you have any other further, more personal questions, definitely feel free to email us. If you thought this was valuable, and if you know of other people who are wondering if they should join B-School, please share this with your friends. Give us some hearts if you found what we kind of just brain dumped on you today valuable. Then definitely share it and heart it. Thank you so much. Any other questions, we are more than welcome to answer. Open book about my experience with B-School.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, make sure you swipe, I think you swipe right.
Yeah.
And then make sure you follow us.
Yeah.
This is literally like number 5.
Yeah, we're pretty new. But yeah, swipe one of the ways to follow and share with your friends.
Yeah.
The replay will be up for a while, but trust your gut. Put some pen to paper and map out what your business looks like today and what you want it to look like. And if this is the program that's going to help get you there, then maybe it is the right fit. If you're in a little bit of an overwhelm already, then I'm going to be completely honest with you and tell you that it's not going to help. There's a lot of material and a lot of time dedication that's required to make it work for you in the best way. But also know that you can go right back again to it next year. Or if you don't even want to go through it live, it's up all year round. She takes it down like 2 weeks before the new modules are put in, or like they update the material. And so right now I can't get access to it. But every other day of the year I can. And so maybe going through it live just isn't for you. But maybe you can get some buddies and pull them out of B-School, and you all can go through it again in the fall or this winter when you have more downtime. That's always I knew a lot of people who did that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, cool. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much. We'll be around soon.